In this episode, we will discuss the manifestation teachings of Abraham Hicks. Though Abraham's teaching can bring about some of the fastest manifestations, often many people fail to apply Abraham's teachings. The primary reason for this is that most people learn about Abraham's teachings through YouTube videos. The problem with most YouTube videos is that information is not well organized. You have a bit of information in one video and then another bit of information in another video. You may learn a manifestation technique from one video which does not cover the prerequisite of the technique. Months later, maybe you find another video that covers the prerequisite and then you suddenly say this thing works. But for months, you have tried and manifestations did not come about. In this video, we are going to boil down the essential teachings of Abraham Hicks. These essential teachings are summarized precisely and they have been mostly taken from the books written by Esther and Jerry Hicks. Some information have been added from Abraham's lectures which are deemed critical to the manifestation process. So, without further ado, let's get to the teachings of Abraham Hicks. And one last thing, hitting that subscribe and the like button will be greatly appreciated. So, who is Abraham Hicks? Abraham is described as a universal collective consciousness. Abraham is a non-physical entity. Although Abraham is an entity, it is also a part of our non-physical self. Esther Hicks is the woman who channels Abraham. The way it works is Esther can raise her vibration or frequency to a level that can match with the frequency of Abraham and then a link is created. Now Esther receives thoughts or thought forms transmitted from Abraham which are then translated as words by Esther. The teaching of Abraham could then be considered limited to the vocabulary of Esther. There used to be another non-physical entity who was channeled by Jane Roberts. A book called Seth Speaks, published in 1972, explains the non-physical aspect of ourselves in great detail. I will discuss more about our non-physical selves in future videos. So, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the notification icon so that you do not miss out on the teachings. However, today we will stick to Abraham Hicks' fundamental teachings that are relevant to manifesting our desires. The first concept that must be grasped to understand Abraham's teaching is that you have two parts within yourself. One is your inner being or the true self while the other one is the ego. Your ego is the conscious part of yourself over which you have control. You generally identify with the ego. You can bring your ego in alignment with your inner being or you can stay out of alignment with your inner being. Your inner being is kind of automatic and way wiser than you. Your inner being knows your desires and have already manifested those desires. However, those manifestations exist in a vibrational reality which Abraham calls the vortex. Abraham teaches that one can get inside their vortex by bringing themselves in alignment with their inner being. The second concept to understand is that your thoughts are vibrations. You may have a vibration that is aligned with your inner being or you may have a vibration that is out of alignment from your inner being. You use your ego self to change your vibration. The way you do so is by focusing your thoughts. You may focus on thoughts that are in alignment with your inner being or you may do the opposite. If and when you are aligned with your inner being, your frequency matches the frequency of your vortex and your desires materialize. The third concept to understand is that you have an inbuilt guidance system which tells you if you are moving towards your vortex or away from it. That guidance system is your emotions. You can have one of the two emotions. One that feels good and the other that does not feel good. If you think thoughts that feel good, it means that you are getting closer to alignment or closer to your vortex. If you feel bad, that means you are moving away from your vortex. The fourth concept to understand is the nature of your being is to expand. Your expansion is caused by having desires. Once that desire is fulfilled, another desire will be born from the fulfillment of your desire. Desires occur from contrast. When you experience something that you do not want, you give birth to a desire that you do want. So, there is a purpose of experiencing the contrast of your desire. Because the contrast literally gives birth to the desire. Once you have a desire, your inner being achieves the vibrational manifestation of the desire immediately. Your job is to not dwell in the contrast but to catch up with the frequency of your inner being who is in the vortex. You may choose to stay out of your vortex and experience the contrast longer, which will refine the desire with specific details. But often people just cannot focus away from the contrast which causes the suffering. So your job is to find a way to feel good. The fifth concept is that you do not necessarily have to think about your desire to bring about the manifestation. As long as you can feel good with a thought, you can get into the vortex. It is not so much important about what you specifically think but rather how you feel. As long as you are thinking thoughts that feel good means your vibration is coming closer to the frequency of your vortex, and then the magic happens. The sixth concept is that the universe operates based on the law of attraction. Once you can hold any thought for 17 seconds, you attract another similar thought and then another. When you start to feel good, it is the first step of your manifestation. You need to hold on to the vibration and let it gain momentum. When the momentum is gained over a certain point, almost nothing can stop you from bringing the manifestation of your desire. The seventh concept is related to the sixth. One of the biggest mistakes people make is to think about whatever they desire and activate a feeling of lack. If you think of a desire and that makes you feel bad because you don't have it, it is better you do not think about that specific desire. Try to be grateful about something else, whatever makes you happy. As long as you can stay in a good feeling state, all your desires will manifest. Now we will discuss the 5 steps of manifestation as described by Abraham Hicks. Step 1. Contrast. Contrast can be anything that creates a desire within you. Maybe seeing a car and wanting it, or someone mistreating you and you want them to treat you better. Sometimes by simply knowing what you don't want, you create an equal of what you want into the ether of the universe. Step 2. Source answers. This is not your work. In this world, you have access to an unlimited source of energy which is always with you, loving you and working for you. So, the moment you have a desire, your inner being, which you can imagine as your own energy, becomes it. It becomes the manifestation of your desire instantly, in physical form. Step 3. The art of allowing. Since your source has become your desire, it is now your job to become a vibration match to that desire. You see, when you ask for something, you're given a vibrational code to that desire. Your only job is to feel what it would feel like to be, do or have that. Step 4. It is the mastery of art of allowing. Even Esther agrees that it's weird that a step is about another step, but hear me out. In this step, you're so happy with your vibration and imagination and feeling like it has already happened that you don't feel any lack. Step 5. This is the step where you can go out into the world, enjoy your life and see the things you want, which may not have manifested into your life yet, but it doesn't bother you. You enjoy knowing it's given to you in more ways than you can imagine and envision it. I would like bring one last point that Abraham Hicks have often talked about. Abraham says oftentimes human beings think Abraham is trying to teach people to get on feeling good so that they forget about their desire. It could not be further from the truth. The way the law of attraction works is by matching the vibration you are offering to the universe. As your inner being has already achieved your desire, as long as you do not offer a vibration that is contrary to your inner being, the desire must materialize. Here is one tip I want to provide. Write a list of desires where you do not have a lot of resistance. Here, resistance means that you do not feel the lack of the desire too often. You want it, but you are okay if you do not have it. Then go on a positive mental diet for a month where your ultimate purpose is to feel good. Then check the list after a month. If you do it correctly, you may be astonished at your results because you may realize you got way more than you consciously desire at the first place. If you like these types of law of attraction videos, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification icon. Also, please hit the like button and leave your thoughts on the comment section. I try to respond to any question you may have. Thank you for watching. Until next time, happy manifesting.